The last couple of years have been really big for LG, as it has essentially managed to propel itself from trailing behind Samsung, its Korean sibling-come-rival, into being a very real and present contender in the space all on its own. The leaping off point was the LG G2, where LG decided it needed to get with the program and launch its flagship globally in one go, rather than focusing on the Asian market first and slowly, often too slowly, seeding it out to foreign distribution. The LG G2 was also a seriously capable phone in terms of specs, features and design, and LG put a decent amount of thought and care into its presentation and marketing. The LG G2 did reasonably well, but crucially it caught the attention of Google, which offered LG the chance to work on its Nexus program. That produced the Nexus 4, a fantastic phone which propelled LG into prominence, from which it further worked on the stunning LG G3 and Nexus 5. All of this created a lot of hype around the 2015 model, the LG G4, which didn't disappoint with its great camera, performance and amazing leather-back design. So it's understandable that a lot of people are keen to see what the LG G5 has in store for 2016. MWC in 2016 will be happening a bit earlier than usual, February 22nd, to be precise, and it's already whispered that Samsung will launch a new Galaxy S7 flagship in the days just ahead. LG, on the other hand, has been in the habit of having its own launch events later in the year, but a bunch of recent rumors say it may be pulling a Samsung and revealing all on or around MWC 2016 too. Android headlines also reckons the LG G5 could launch as early as Q1 2015, so quite a bit earlier than the G3 and G4, which both landed inside Q2 of 2013 and 2014, respectively. Here's an extract from their report. The advance in the schedule may have several reasons, including Samsung itself, since the giant rival usually releases their flagship phones during the Mobile World Congress, MWC, on early March. The source throws a guess that the device may be unveiled during the MWC 2016, but again, this is just a guess. As for the specs, the information is really sparse, as we don't have any clue on what processor, RAM, camera, storage or any other extra features. However, based on the hardware coming next year, it is safe to throw in some guesses, and there's a big chance they will happen to be true. First of all, there isn't much to choose for the processors. LG has stood with Qualcomm, and the next major flagship processor is the Snapdragon 820. There's an option from MediaTek too, with their Helio X20, but in the past history LG has partnered with the American chipmaker. For the RAM, 4GB is becoming a standard, and it is unlikely the LG G5 will come with less than 3GB. As for the storage, the internal space on the G4 was 32GB, and it would be a shoot in the foot if LG downed it to 16GB again. You can read our LG G4 review for all the brilliant details of that fantastic handset, but this article is going to be all about the next device in the series. As of December 10th, new info has emerged suggesting LG has brought its release plans forward to February 2016. The word comes via Taiwanese sources on the country's branch of the Weibo social network, where it's alleged we'll see a 5.6 inches QHD display, a metal unibody design rather than the LG G4's leather back, and a 20/21MP camera with a large 1/2 sensor size. The rumor also reinstates the previously suggested biometric security suite, including both a fingerprint scanner and an iris scanner. Once again, Qualcomm has been fingered as providing a Snapdragon 820 SoC. LG G5 display. The LG G5 is rumored to have a 5.6-inch True HD IPS display with a flexible touchscreen. The resolution should come in right around 3840 x 2160, meaning it's a 4K display. The rumored resolution is likely accurate, as most flagships in 2016 should move to 4K displays. If they don't have them already, 2016 will be the year 4K goes norm, with virtually all high-end smartphones having the ability to shoot 4K video and many TV sets now supporting 4K natively. But this is always the case with next-generation technology. particularly display technology, and particularly from Android manufacturers, which are always pushing the limits of consumer expectations in a bid to sell more hardware by having the latest and greatest bells and whistles present on their newest flagships. We saw it happen with the advent of 1080p and QHD, and now it looks as if we'll see something similar happen in 2016 with a move to 4K panels on smartphones. Do you need 4K on a smartphone? Not at all. It is largely superfluous, overkill for the marketeers to get their teeth into. But this is always the way with Android phones, it's all about specs, specs and more specs. I said the same thing about QHD panels a couple of years ago, but the point still stands. I take 40% more battery over a 4K panel any day of the week. Hell, I take a 50% or more improvement in battery and quite happily live with a 1080p display. But that, dear reader, wouldn't be exciting enough. And as we all know, Android phones have to be exciting and on the cutting edge of what's possible with current technology. This is no bad thing. Not in the slightest, but sometimes, like the case with displays, you get the distinct impression that raw specs take precedence over things like user experience and battery performance, which, if we're honest, is all that really matters at the end of the day. What use is a 4K panel, anyway, if you don't have enough juice to run it all day without requiring a recharge? An eye scanner? One of the more interesting developments in tech in recent years has been the rise in interest surrounding biometric sensors. Fingerprint scanners are now commonplace on mobile phones, largely thanks to the success of Apple's Touch ID, but what does the future hold? Something to do with your eyeballs, apparently. And we could see it debut aboard the LG G5. If new rumors are to be believed, the LG G5 could be one of the most secure smartphones ever released. However, rather than using a fingerprint scanner like the iPhone 6s and Samsung Galaxy S6, the LG G may 5th use your eyes, reports Alpha. LG is reportedly working with Iriance, a South Korean-based technology company that specializes in eye scanning technology. Iriance will provide the scanner for the upcoming LG G5 apparently, and said scanner will be able to read a person's eye from a distance of 50 centimeters, making it ideal for use when held normally. Gimmick or not, the LG G5 will likely be the first smartphone to ship with such a feature. How well the feature will play out with consumers remains to be seen. It will have to work seamlessly, unlike Google's ill-fated face recognition technology, which really did suck quite hard. LG planning on mobile payment platform. Details emerging on November 19 appear to confirm that LG is planning to introduce its own mobile payment system inside 2016. The Korea Times reports having heard from an LG spokesperson, although alarmingly the report states the firm plans to launch the new platform as early as next month, December. However, LG is quite often one for going public with longer-term plans, so it may simply be an official announcement with a rollout starting in 2016. Either way, the LG G5 seems like a likely candidate for a debut of this technology, especially if it has biometric eye scanner security as previously rumored. It's said that LG is still in talks with major credit card companies, so it's also possible that the December announcement is a moving target that could be delayed if negotiations do not go according to plan. No additional details have been confirmed, meaning we don't know if LG plans to implement NFC, as with Apple Pay, or opt to follow Samsung's example via magnetic secure transmission, MST, which is compatible with existing contactless points of sale and would be a very easy drop-in solution. All of which being said, does serve to demonstrate that LG is attempting to enter an already crowded market with Samsung, Apple, and Google already vying for position with their own mobile payment platforms. LG G5, design. One area where LG can make sure serious improvements to the G5 is build materials and overall design. The LG G4 was a decent enough handset, but the design and finish kind of left a lot to be desired, especially when compared to the Galaxy S6 and HTC One M9. Could this year's model see some changes? Potentially. Metal-clad bodies are all the rage at the moment, so we wouldn't be surprised to see LG adopting something similar on its next flagship release. We don't expect LG to increase to overall size and weight of the handset much. The G4 was already pretty big. Nevertheless, we do expect to see some refinements to the shape, thickness and polish of the handset. There are no firm rumors on what the G5 will look like beyond that it will have an improved design. However, according to a report from November 17, the LG G May 5 launch with a completely new design featuring a metal unibody. The word comes via news sources in LG's home nation of South Korea. Assuming this is accurate, it would make the LG G5 the firm's first full metal handset. The reports detail that LG is actively attempting to cash in on the popularity of metal-bodied phones from rivals such as Apple and Samsung. It's also suggested the device may arrive in Q1 2016 to oppose Samsung's next flagship, so we may be looking at a MWC launch, or perhaps shortly afterwards, as LG usually waits a little bit. Unibody design is great for looks, but if you're a fan of removable batteries and SD cards, they do become problematic. Samsung famously ditched its removable batteries and seriously irritated a lot of its most loyal fans. The fact that LG kept its batteries removable aboard the LG G4 was commendable, design complaints aside. But you could please everyone, and the fact that a lot of people took snipes at the overall design and finish of the phone proves that most, if not all, prefer nice design over things like removable batteries. LG G5, processor, storage, and RAM. Things get a little more firm when you talk about the G5's specs. It's widely rumored to include a 8-core Snapdragon 820 processor, which is set to be a beast of a SoC with a 14nm process and a 2.2 to 3 GHz speed. It also offers support for native 4K displays at 60 fps with 120 Hz, which lends credence to the G5's display rumors. In addition to its leading LTE features, the Snapdragon 820 processor also supports superior Wi-Fi performance and connectivity experiences through Qualcomm-registered Sign VIV trademark Sign 802.11 AC with Qualcomm-registered Sign MU-EFX MIMO technology, along with tri-band support, through multi-gigabit 802.11 AD, 11 AD, Wi-Fi. With 2x2 802.11 AC, 11 AC, plus MIMO technology, devices will have the ability to achieve a range increase of up to 50% over the 1x1 configuration. As for RAM, the LG G5 is rumored to include anywhere between 3 and 6 GB of RAM, depending on your sources. I personally think the LG G5 will come with 4 GB of RAM. For a 2016 flagship, 3 GB is too little and 6 GB just seems like overkill. As for storage, the LG G5 is rumored to come in 3 sizes: 32, 64, and 128 GB. This is probably entirely accurate, as LG wouldn't be dumb enough to pull an Apple and start out a flagship phone with only 16 GB of storage. It is also rumored to keep the micro SD slot for storage expansion. LG G5, cameras. This is the really exciting part of the LG G5. It's supposed to have killer cameras. The rear camera is rumored to feature an exclusive Sony lens that has a width of 1/2 inch, allowing it to shoot supposedly amazing low-light shots. It will be a 20MP sensor and will feature smile, face, and multi-gesture detection. The front camera is no slouch either. It's rumored to have a 10MP sensor so you can capture higher resolution selfies. But more interestingly, the front-facing camera is rumored to have iris scanning technology for advanced security. That potentially means you'll be able to unlock your phone just by looking at it. There are rumors that this iris recognition will even replace thumbprint biometrics, or it could have both, but only time will tell. LG G5, connectivity. Nothing much new and exciting on the connectivity front. The LG G5 is rumored to have 4G, NFC, 802.11 AC Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth 4.0. LG G5, battery. Rumors point to the LG G5 having a 4000 mAh battery. All we can say is it better. Anything less than that will probably be woefully inadequate to keep a 5.6-inch 4K display smartphone powered most of the day. The LG G5 is also rumored to incorporate Qualcomm Quick Charge 3.0 technology. This tech allows the battery to be charged to 85% full capacity in just 35 minutes. LG G5, cost and availability. No price specs have leaked yet, but as the LG G5 is LG's flagship, it's going to cost a lot. The price of $900 has been thrown around as conjecture, and that's probably close to accurate. In the case, expect to spend almost £600 buying the LG G5 unlocked. As for availability, plenty of rumors are pointing to a November announcement. Some people are even saying the LG G5 could ship in November or December, just in time for the holidays. I personally think that seems unlikely. LG would have too big of a marketing mess on their hands getting the word out about the new flagship in time to sway holiday shoppers to opt for their smartphone over others that have been advertised for months.